Since the dawn of civilization, the combination of man and horse has been a powerful force on the world's battlefields. In ancient Rome, this partnership was elevated to an elite status with the Equites, the horsemen who not only shaped the techniques of warfare but also played vital roles in the social and political structure of the empire. These men, mounted on their sturdy horses, were more than mere fighters. They were symbols of status, wealth, and power, essential both on the battlefields and in the political arenas of Rome. In this context, the horse was not just a means of transportation but a battle companion trained for war, capable of performing complex maneuvers and facing dangers head-on with its rider. Today, we will dive deep into the world of the Equites, exploring not only their military importance but also the unique relationship they shared with their horses, creatures as trained and valued as the men who rode them. This journey through time will reveal the art, strategy, and bravery of the horsemen of the ancient Roman Empire and their noble equine companions. The origin of the Equites, the birth of an elite troop. Since the beginning of the Roman Republic, the need for an efficient cavalry became evident. The Equites, initially wealthy citizens who could afford the costs of maintaining a horse, emerged as a distinct military class. Their origins date back to the monarchical period of Rome, but it was during the Republic that they consolidated as an essential force in the Roman army. The Equites were not just mounted soldiers. They represented the elite of Roman society. Their position was marked not only by military capability but also by social status. Belonging to this class meant having access to political and social influences that shaped the destiny of Rome. The cavalry was seen as a symbol of wealth and prestige, and the Equites played a crucial role in military campaigns, often deciding the course of battles. Over time, the structure of the Equites evolved. Initially, any citizen who could provide their own horse and equipment could become an Equites. However, as Rome expanded its borders, the need for a more professional army led to the creation of more structured and disciplined units. The selection process became more rigorous, and the Equites began to be recruited not only for their wealth, but also for the skill and bravery demonstrated on the battlefield. The importance of the Equites in Roman society was such that they had their own place in the Senate and actively participated in political decisions. Their influence went beyond the battlefields, extending into the spheres of power in Rome. The Roman cavalry, led by the Equites, became a fundamental pillar in the construction and maintenance of the vast Roman Empire. Selection and training of horses, creating war companions. The horses of the Equites were not chosen at random. The selection of these animals followed strict criteria aimed at ensuring the best performance on the battlefield. Horses were chosen for their strength, endurance, and temperament, essential characteristics for facing the adversities of war. Specific breeds were preferred, including the robust Iberian and Numidian horses, known for their endurance and agility. Once selected, the horses underwent intense and disciplined training. Training began from a young age, where they were taught to obey basic commands and get accustomed to the presence of humans. As they aged, the training became more complex, including combat maneuvers and battle simulations. The horses learned to remain calm under pressure, respond quickly to the rider's commands, and face the chaos of the battlefield without panicking. Training also included exposing the horses to various types of terrain and weather conditions. They were prepared for long and exhausting marches, ensuring they could keep up with the pace of Roman military campaigns. Physical conditioning was rigorous, with daily exercises that strengthened their muscles and improved their endurance. Besides physical training, the horses received special care to ensure their health and well-being. Proper nutrition, veterinary treatment, and careful handling were integral parts of the process. The Romans understood that a healthy and well-treated horse was essential for the success of the Equites on the battlefield. The bonds between rider and horse were strengthened during training. The Equites dedicated time and effort to establish a connection with their horses based on trust and communication. This relationship was crucial, as in many cases, the rider's life depended on the loyalty and performance of their horse in critical moments. Training of the riders, the formation of the masters of cavalry. The Roman horsemen, known as Equites, underwent rigorous training to prepare them for the demands of mounted combat. From a young age, Aspiring Equites were subjected to a disciplined regime that included both physical training and the development of tactical and strategic skills. The training began with learning the basic techniques of horsemanship, progressing to complex maneuvers and simulated combats. The training of the Equites was not limited to mastering the horse. They were taught to use a variety of weapons, including spears, swords, and bows. Constant practice of these skills was essential to ensure accuracy and efficiency on the battlefield. The horsemen trained in groups, simulating combat scenarios to develop coordination and teamwork, crucial aspects for the Roman cavalry. In addition to combat skills, the Equites were instructed in military tactics and war strategies. They learned to read the battlefield, identify weaknesses in the enemy, and execute quick and decisive maneuvers. Knowledge of Roman military formations and the ability to adapt them as needed in combat were fundamental parts of the horsemen's training. The physical training of the Equites was also intense. They performed daily exercises to strengthen muscles and increase endurance. Horse races, jumps, and long marches were part of the routine, ensuring they were prepared for the physical demands of military campaigns. Discipline and dedication were fundamental values instilled from the beginning of their training. The Equites also received formal education, including studies in history, philosophy, and oratory. These knowledge areas were considered essential to form leaders capable of making informed decisions and inspiring their men. The combination of rigorous military training and intellectual education made the Equites a class of versatile and highly competent warriors, ready to face any challenge on the battlefield. Battle tactics. The strategy of the Equites on the battlefield. The battle tactics of the Equites were sophisticated and adaptable, reflecting the evolution of Roman military art. The cavalry played a crucial role in Roman strategies, offering mobility and speed that infantry could not match. The Equites were often used to scout the terrain, conduct reconnaissance missions, and pursue retreating enemy forces. One of the most common tactics involved using the cavalry to flank the enemy. The Equites would attack the enemy's flanks and rear, causing confusion and disorder. This approach allowed the Roman infantry to advance more easily, taking advantage of the disarray caused by the quick and precise attacks of the horsemen. Coordination between the cavalry and infantry was essential for the success of these maneuvers. The Equites were also trained to execute direct charges against the enemy. Armed with spears and protected by light armor, they could break through enemy lines with devastating force. The speed and impact of cavalry charges were enough to break the morale of opponents and create gaps in the enemy defenses. This tactic was especially effective against less disciplined or already weakened enemy formations. In defensive situations, the Equites could be used to protect the flanks of the Roman army or to carry out rapid counterattacks. They were capable of quickly responding to emerging threats, moving with agility to support struggling units or intercept enemy forces attempting to flank the Roman army. The versatility of the Equites allowed them to be employed in a variety of tactical roles, adapting to the needs of the battlefield. Efficient communication was fundamental for the execution of cavalry tactics. The Equites used visual and auditory signals to coordinate their movements and maintain cohesion during combat. Continuous discipline and training ensured they could operate as a cohesive unit, performing complex maneuvers with precision and effectiveness. The ability of the Equites to quickly adapt to changing battle conditions made them a formidable force in the Roman military arsenal. Equipment and armor. The protection of the Equites and their horses. The equipment and armor of the Equites were designed to provide protection and mobility on the battlefield. The horsemen wore light armor, which allowed freedom of movement while offering protection against blows and projectiles. The armor was typically made of reinforced leather or chainmail, with metal plates covering vital areas such as the chest, shoulders, and legs. The helmets of the Equites were designed to protect the head without compromising vision or hearing. Some models included movable visors and face guards, providing additional defense against direct attacks. The shields, although smaller than those used by infantry, were effective in defending against spears and arrows. They were light enough to be handled with one hand, allowing the horsemen to keep the other hand free for weapons. The primary weapons of the Equites included long spears, used to thrust at enemies during cavalry charges. These spears, called contus, were effective for piercing armor and destabilizing opponents. In addition to spears, the Equites carried short swords, ideal for close combat. Some horsemen also used composite bows, allowing them to attack from a distance while maintaining mobility. The horses of the Equites were also protected by armor, although lighter than that of the horsemen. The protections included reinforced leather breastplates for the chest and sides, as well as face shields that protected the head without obstructing the animal's vision or breathing. This armor was essential to ensure that the horses could face the dangers of the battlefield without easily succumbing to enemy attacks. Taking care of the equipment was an ongoing responsibility for the Equites. Maintaining the armor and weapons in perfect condition was crucial for performance in combat. The horsemen dedicated significant time and resources to ensure their equipment was always battle-ready. The combination of efficient protection, mobility, and attack power made the Equites a feared and respected force throughout the ancient world. The social and political role of the Equites beyond the battlefield. The Equites, beyond their military functions, played a significant role in the social and political life of ancient Rome. Belonging to the equestrian order, they formed an intermediate class between senators and plebeians. This privileged position conferred upon them not only social status, but also a series of responsibilities and political influences. In the Senate, the Equites were often consulted on military and security matters due to their battlefield experience. Their opinions were valued in debates about military strategies and foreign policies. Additionally, many Equites aspired to administrative and judicial positions where they could apply their leadership and organizational skills learned in the army. Socially, the Equites were seen as symbols of success and ambition. Owning a war horse and serving as a horseman was a sign of wealth and prestige. They participated in important social and religious events, and their families often organized public festivities and games, reinforcing their status in society. The equestrian order was also known for its philanthropy, funding public works and temples, which earned them the approval and respect of the people. However, being an Equites also required considerable financial commitments. Maintaining war horses, armor, and participating in military campaigns could be a financial burden. Even so, the social and political benefits outweighed the costs, and many sought to become Equites to improve their positions in society. The political role of the Equites extended beyond the borders of Rome. As governors of provinces and commanders of legions, they were responsible for administering conquered territories, collecting taxes, and maintaining order. This experience in local governance often served as a stepping stone to higher political careers in Rome. The Equites were, therefore, multifaceted figures in ancient Rome. Their influence was felt not only on the battlefields, but also in the political and social arenas. They were the true pillars of Roman society, ensuring the stability and continuity of the empire through their dedication and service. Famous battles, where the Equites shined. Throughout Roman history, the Equites participated in numerous battles that tested their bravery and skill. Among these, some stand out for their strategic importance and the lasting impact they had on the expansion and maintenance of the Roman Empire. Let's explore some of these iconic battles where the Equites shined. The Battle of Pydna in 168 BC was a significant milestone in the Third Macedonian War. The Equites played a crucial role by flanking the Macedonian forces, contributing to the decisive Roman victory. Their ability to maneuver quickly and attack the enemy's unprotected flanks was essential in destabilizing the Macedonian phalanx, a traditionally impenetrable combat formation. Another notable battle was the Battle of Carrhae in 53 BC during the war against the Parthians. Although this was one of Rome's most painful defeats, the Equites showed impressive resilience against the Parthian horse archers. Even in the face of adversity, their courage and discipline stood out, influencing future combat tactics and military training. During the Battle of Alesia in 52 BC, the Equites were instrumental in Julius Caesar's victory over the Gallic forces led by Vercingetorix. The cavalry maneuvers played a vital role in the siege and the final battle, breaking the Gallic supply lines and ensuring the enemy's surrender. This triumph solidified Caesar's position and demonstrated the effectiveness of the Roman cavalry in siege operations. In the Battle of Actium in 31 BC, The cavalry of the Equites was strategically used to support Octavian's naval forces against the fleet of Mark Antony and Cleopatra. The flexibility and speed of the cavalry allowed Octavian to achieve a decisive victory, marking the end of the Roman civil wars and the beginning of the Roman Empire under Augustus. Each of these battles highlights the importance and versatility of the Equites in the Roman army. Their adaptability and crucial role in different types of combat solidified their reputation as an elite force. The victories and defeats where the Equites were involved left lasting lessons that shaped Roman military strategy for centuries. The legacy of the Equites, the lasting influence on military history. The legacy of the Equites in military history is profound and enduring. Their influence can be seen not only in the tactics and strategies developed by the Romans, but also in how cavalry was used by later armies. The principles of discipline, rigorous training, and the integration of cavalry with other military units were adopted and refined over the centuries. During the Middle Ages, many of the cavalry techniques of the Equites were adapted by European knights. The concept of a well-trained and equipped elite military class persisted, influencing the formation of knightly orders and chivalric codes of conduct. The combination of mobility and striking power of the Equites served as a model for medieval mounted forces. In modern times, the lessons learned from the Equites continue to be relevant. The importance of mobility and rapid response to emerging threats is a fundamental principle in many contemporary military doctrines. The integration of different types of units and effective coordination in combat, practices mastered by the Equites, are essential for the success of military operations today. Historical studies of the Equites have also contributed to a better understanding of the logistics and support necessary to maintain effective cavalry units. Resource management, continuous training, and care for the horses are aspects that have been refined and applied in various military contexts throughout history. Beyond their military influence, the Equites left a lasting cultural impact. They are often depicted in art and literature as symbols of courage, honor, and loyalty. Their stories continue to inspire, reflecting the values of a class that played a crucial role in the formation of the Roman Empire and the defense of its borders. The legacy of the Equites is a testament to the power and importance of cavalry in military history. Their ability to combine strength, agility, and strategy left an indelible mark on the art of war. The Roman horsemen, with their noble equine companions, continue to be remembered as exemplars of military excellence and tireless dedication to the defense of Rome.